Well, this afternoon we see that there's high school club roundup that's going on this week. We're going to see if we can make some contacts with some of those stations and surprise them with the live stream. And hope they'll have a chance to come back later and listen to the QSOs. We'll see what kind of surprises we get. The first ones that we see right now is a station down in Gainesville, Florida, and currently the operator's name is Josh. So we'll see what kind of response we get from him when we give him a call, and he finds out that we're live streaming this as well. Should be fun for everybody. So we'll wait our turn and see if we can make a contact with him. Well, I'm hoping they didn't shut down for the day. We're going to give them some time to maybe change operators or maybe take a break and see what we can come up with. Or we'll just rotate the band and see if we can find some other station. We do see some on the waterfall. Maybe there'll be some other high school club roundups that we can make contact with. So we'll give us a few more minutes here, see if Josh is out and about, and we could give them a call individually, I guess, and see what happens.
Kilo 4, Whiskey Tango Lima, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo.
Just we'll see if we can wake them up. maybe they're doing an operator change. We'll see what happens here, but should be exciting for the kids anyway.
Kilowatt 4, Whiskey Tango Lima, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo.
Hey, good afternoon, Justin. How are you doing there? Thanks for giving us a heads up on the chat. We got two mics today. We got the radio and we've got the mic on the live stream. See if we can make some contact with some of the high school roundups. And yeah, there's Mark as well. Hey, Mark, how's it going down in Florida? Trying to get a hold of the few other ones out there. Yeah, hey, Justin. Kilo India 5 Golf Kilo Delta, and Mark's out there too. Easy to remember, Mark. Alpha 1 India Alpha. Hope you guys are doing well. See if we can make some contacts here in a little bit. And we'll see if we can maybe find another high school roundup station. We're going to rotate the band and see what happens.
Because that was purely...
Station ending in Sierra. Kilo X-ray 4, Sierra Mike.
Bravo Golf Sierra.
Well, you know, the worst thing could happen is we'll just find ourselves an open spot and we'll just call CQ. Maybe we can get a hold of Justin, get a hold of Mark. Haven't talked to Mark for a while. We'll just rotate around a little bit and see what happens.
Lives in which part of Jacksonville? Over.
If you're familiar with the area, I'm right at the foot of the Dames Point Bridge. Are you familiar with that?
Not exactly. My sister lives up closer to town, like, gosh, I can't remember the name. Never mind. A lot of people calling, so we can't be doing geography lessons today. Thanks for the call. We're a club station for the School Club Roundup. Thanks for checking in.
Alrighty, have fun. 7-3. AX4.
Okay, we must have a school club roundup here on 14281.
Ending Sierra, go ahead.
We'll give a listen here, see if maybe we can't break in and get a call to him.
Heard. This is Kilo 3, November Echo Mike for the School Club Roundup. QRZ. Kilo, Oscar 4, Whiskey 5, Echo Alpha. Jump on so give me your call a couple more times, please.
Yeah, it's Echo Alpha 7 Japan Zulu, Echo America 7 Japan Zulu. You copy, Tom? Over.
Echo Alpha 7 Japan Zulu. I got it that time, Carlos. You are 5'9" into Maryland, and this is a club station for the School Club Roundup. Over.
Yeah, I know, Tom. I watch it on QC.com. Thank you very much for the contact with the club station, and enjoy. 03 November Echo Mike, Echo Alpha 7 Japan Zulu. Good afternoon, 73.
73, Carlos. There's a lot of school stations on this afternoon, so if you look on one of the spotting networks, you'll see them. See if you can work a couple of them. I'm sure the kids in the school clubs would really appreciate talking to you. Over.
Yeah, we're looking for you. I'm looking for the club station. Thank you for the information. And nice to talk to you. Greetings to everybody. 73.
Okay, 73. I see. I'm looking at the spotting network, and there's a handful on, so see if you can work a couple. I think that would be great. Thanks for participating, 73. This is Kilo 3 November Echo Mike for the School Club Roundup, QRZ.
Kilo 0 America, Kilo India, K0 ABI.
K0 Alpha Victor India, you're 5'9" into Maryland. We are a club station in the School Club Roundup. My name is Tom, Tango Oscar Mike, over.
Yeah, KSL Tom, good afternoon to you guys. You guys are booming here into central North Dakota. My handle is Arnie, and my call again is Kilo 0 America, Victoria, India. Back to you, over.
Okay, Arnie, got you in the log. Appreciate your participation in the roundup today. 73. This is Kilo 3 November Echo Mike, QRZ.
Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo.
Kilo 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo booming in 5'9" plus, Randy. School Club Roundup. We're a club station. Name here's Tom, over.
Yeah, Tom, I got you. Been copying the mail, and just wanted you to know we've got the live stream going. So we've got you guys here on YouTube. So feel free to come back and listen to it later, the QSO. We've been trying to do that here sometimes a little bit here today, get some of the school clubs and the kids get a chance to hear themselves on the air through our live stream there, Roger.
Yeah, okay, so how do I access it, Randy?
Yeah, my channel is my call sign, Kilowatt 0, K0RWB. Just go to YouTube, put in the search bar, type in the call. It'll pop up the channel, and look for the video of today's date. We're currently live, but it records as well, Tom, so the kids can go back and listen to it from that point on. But we've been doing this here in the evenings on 40 meters, but gosh, you know, with the School Club Roundup and the Jamboree over the weekend, kids are having a really great time seeing that you can put ham radio and YouTube together, two different mediums, and have a great time with it there, Tom. Go ahead.
That sounds like a real ball. I'll check it out. And my daughter is a middle school teacher, and that sounds like something she might be able to use, or the science teachers might be able to use to get some kids interested too. That's a great idea.
Yeah, well, by the way, you're 10 over here, and of course the QTH. They're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. I've actually worked that station before. I know that you guys are working out of that, and I'd like to say antique equipment, not antiquated. Antique equipment sounds great, Tom. And I know there's others out there. Just wanted to get a word in. We'll take a standby here, and we'll just have you guys on the live stream for the next 5 minutes or so, and get a chance for you guys to get recorded, and then we'll flip the band up and to see if we can hit some other station roundups as well. There, go ahead.
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah, I'll be. By the way, we're operating more contemporary equipment. The museum equipment is pretty static, so we're using a more modern radio equipment, like not real up to date modern, but 90s or 2000s vintage stuff. So don't want to give you the wrong idea that we're operating the antiques here. And I'll be operating another 7 or 8 minutes here. I've got a net to run beginning at 3 o'clock, so that'll be perfect. If you keep us on for another 5 minutes or so, then I'll appreciate it. We'll share that out with the club members too. Thanks again, Randy. Kilo 0 RWB. This is Kilo 3 November Echo Mike 73.
I bet, Tom. My pleasure. Be happy to do it. Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. We'll be clear. 73.
Okay, This is Kilo 3 November Echo Mike for the School Club Roundup. QRZ.
Well, I'm wondering, the School Club Roundup, and Tom's the one on the air, guys. We'll see how that works. Nice to see a few people there on the live stream. I don't know where it's just going to go. We'll give them a few more minutes to get it recorded. Maybe they'll have a chance to listen to it, and the club will enjoy it. That's just what this is all about, guys. You know, and putting the two mediums together, having some fun. We'll give it a few more minutes here, and then we'll roll up and down the band and see if we can find a few more clubs that we can talk with, and hopefully the kids will get a kick out of it.
Thanks for the contact. 73, this is Kilo 3 November Echo Mike, QRZ.
Whiskey 5, Whiskey Lima Kilo.
Italy Alpha.
Station's got a 3 Alpha. Go ahead.
That would be me. Alpha, Alpha 1, Italy Alpha. AA1IA, the name is Mark. Daytona Beach is the place. And 59 plus 10 would be the report. Back to you, sir.
Okay, Mark, let me make sure I got the call right. I have Alpha, Alpha 1, Alpha, India Alpha, QSL.
Negative. You have the prefix correct. The suffix is only Italy Alpha.
Alpha, Alpha 1, Italy Alpha. Okay, got it that time. Thanks. Yep, thanks for the contact. You're 5-9 into Maryland. We're a club station in the School Club Roundup. Thanks for the contact. 73. 73, AA1I. Kilo 3 November Echo Mike, QRZ.
Whiskey 5, Whiskey Lima Kilo.
Victor Yankee 2, Sierra Echo Charlie.
Victor Yankee 2, Sierra Echo Charlie. Go ahead.
And we'll give this about another minute, and we'll roll the band. If there's somebody on the chat who's been monitoring the frequencies and they know where there's a school club that wants to give me a heads up on the live chat, you're certainly welcome to do so. If not, we'll look at the waterfall and see if we can find something.
Roger, I was just talking to Florida Station, so back to you.
Okay, and let me confirm the call. I've got Victor Yankee 2, Sierra Echo Charlie, QSL.
That's Roger.
Okay, thanks. This is Kilo 3 November Echo Mike, QRZ.
Whiskey Alpha 4, India Tango Hotel.
Tango Hotel, go ahead.
This is Whiskey Alpha 4, India Tango Hotel. Handle is Steve, Sierra Tango Echo Victor Echo. I am in Alachua, Florida, in north central Florida. I'm between Gainesville and Lake City, and you are a 5-9 with a little bit of QSC.
Okay, Steve, thanks for the call. You're 5-9 into Maryland, club.
HIE is going to go up for grabs, up for... American Bay, over. Letter is 0. Last letter
Well, I hear a lot of stations. Let's see if we can find a club station. No, we don't want Hawaii just yet.
Town called Laverne.
Maybe they're higher up on the band. Like I said, if anybody on the live chat's found a club station, feel free to put the info here on the chat.
Okay, well, I guess that answers that question.
Oscar Victor, Quebec. This is KM4 TTT looking for another check-in. Anybody, anywhere, come with your call.
Well, there you go, guys. You want to check in.
Calling CQ, International Bible Studio. Calling CQ, the International Bible Studio.
Name's Tom.
We got Tom already.
Kilo Alpha 1, Echo Foxtrot Echo, over.
Roger, I got Tycho Vic. I have to come to
From Charlie Echo. Good to hear you on the air.
All right, Bruce,
thank you, and 73.
Let's see if we got a station here.
This is Kilo India 5, Golf Alpha Victor, School Club Roundup, QRZ. November 2, November 2. November 2, Foxtrot Radio Charlie, you're 5 and 2, Central Texas, over.
QSL, you are about a 4-4 here in North Carolina. I've got a lot of QSB. The name is Mark, Mike, Alpha, Romeo, Kilo.
That's Central Texas, but we'll have to do some rotating around
Mark,
the beam.
4 and 4 and 2, North Carolina, thank you, 73.
73, good luck.
Let's see where he's at. Give your call out again.
November 9, go ahead.
Hey, thanks for the ones that are hanging in on the live chat or on the live stream. I hope you guys are getting something out of it. We're having a little fun here.
All right, so November 9, Charlie Kilo Lima, you're 5 and 5 into Central Texas, over.
I thought you said Central Texas. Let's see if we
Thank you, 73. This is Kilo India 5, Golf Alpha Victor, School Club Roundup, QRZ.
Let's see where we got to go here. We got to go to 197. Well, we'll rotate the beam around here and see if we can get a good contact on them. Maybe we can get a chance to contact them and see what they think. Nice to hear Mark out there get a hold of the club one station there in
Kilo Golf
Maryland
4,
as well.
Quebec, November Romeo, you're 5 and 9 into Central Texas. The handle here is Isaiah, over. Steve, thanks for Central Alabama. Thank you, 73.
Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo.
Kilo 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, you're 5 and 9, booming into Central Texas, over.
Well, if I've been to on Central Texas, thank you for much for coming back to the call. The name here is Randy. The QTH, we are 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City. And your luck, my friend, we're live on YouTube. We've got you live here on YouTube. So we're going to sit back and record you for a while there. Go ahead.
All right, Randy. Well, thank you for that. And I'm going to say 73. Thanks for that help on YouTube, over.
Hey, Roger, you guys want to listen to the playback later on, just go to my call in YouTube, K0RWB, in the search bar. Look for the videos today's date. We're going to sit back for a while and record you guys. Have some fun with it. 73.
All right, thank you, Randy. 73.
Whiskey 4 Oscar Yankee. KN5.
That's what it's all about right there. I think maybe he got caught in the moment. I don't think he quite realized what I said. What do you guys think? Tell me on the chat.
Kilo India 5, Golf Alpha Victor, School Club Roundup, QRZ.
Whiskey 4 Oscar, November 5, Alpha Lima Foxtrot.
So if you guys are out and about, give them a call there, 14263, and see if you can get it.
Alpha Lima Foxtrot in northeast Florida. You're coming in at 9+10.
All right, thank you for the 5 and 9 into Florida. You're 5 and 9 into Central Texas. The handle here is Isaiah, over.
Roger, Isaiah. The handle here is Paul, Paul.
All right, Paul, thank you, and 73.
And 73 to you, KN5 left clear.
This is Kilo India 5, Golf Alpha Victor, School Club Roundup, QRZ.
Whiskey 4 Oscar Yankee.
Kilo Alpha 9, Golf Oscar Uniform, you're 5 and 5, Central Texas, over. Thank you for the 5 and 5, Paul into Wisconsin. Thank you, 73. This is Kilo India 5, Golf Alpha Victor, School Club Roundup, QRZ.
Whiskey 4 Oscar Yankee.
Okay, Mark, let's try it that way. Thanks for the heads up, Mark. I had a feeling it was probably doubling a little bit, so we turned the audio off the radio, And now hopefully you've got me here on the air as well. Should be able to copy it. But anyway, nice to have a chance to hear you or see you, Mark. I did hear you get into the Maryland station. Maybe we'll try this a little bit more, and then if not, we'll find ourselves a spot, and we'll see if we can make a few contacts. We ain't been on 20 meters in a while, so we'll see how that goes. Let's go back and see what the kids are doing there.
All right, the Victor Echo 2.
Roger, Victor Echo 2, Kilowatt Hotel, Kilo Hotel. Are you 5 and 8, 5 and 8, over?
All right, Victor Echo 2, Kilo Hotel. Thanks for the 5 and 8. You're 5 and 2, Central Texas, over.
Roger, the 5 and 2. By the way, I am a mobile station.
All right, thank you for the mobile station. What is your handle, over?
Roger, thank you. 73.
Can I have the handle? I need your handle. Thank you. 73.
Station's nut, please call now.
We've already heard Tom. We'll see if we can hear any other stations out. Well, let's see what they've got here.
Hey, Julian, 73. Thanks for the QSO. Take care. Bye-bye.
Now, if anybody knows where that club call is on 290, we're kind of pointed away the wrong direction. Maybe somebody will let us know or come back around. I got a feeling there's a lot of East Coast. It surprised me that Texas was in, and he was 10 over, which is very surprising. Maybe 20 meters is in better shape than I anticipated. Well, that's a good question, Roberto. I'll have to take a look. I'm not sure what it is on Facebook. Well, Roberto, it's just my name. So if you found me on QRZ, just take my name, I guess, and cut and paste to Facebook. I didn't really think about it, the best I could tell you. We'll see if we can get anybody else out here. If not, we're going to find a spot and we'll start talking ourselves.
Light today, very light, 55, over. QSL 55, return down, little QSV there. You're about a bird, 6. Look at the highlight, today, so good.
Central Texas, over.
Noise now. And
Well, I don't hear much out there. Let's see if maybe... hey, Adam, nice to hear you from Ocala. I don't hear many stations out there. If you guys do, let me know where and where, but maybe we've got an open spot right here. We'll call CQ and we'll see if we can get a hold of Mark. Maybe a few other stations will come in there and we'll see what happens. Well, there's somebody close by. We'll move around a few more minutes here until we can find a clear spot. As they say, you always listen, and listen. Let's see what happens here on 277. Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? Nothing heard. CQ, 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 CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ, CQ, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ, 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 CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20 meters. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ, CQ, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ, CQ, CQ20, CQ20 meters. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ, any stations anywhere. Whiskey Bravo 4 again, please.
Whiskey Bravo 4, Sierra India Oscar, over.
Okay, Whiskey Bravo 4, Sierra India Oscar. Luther, good afternoon. How are things down in the Houston area there? Go ahead.
They're pretty good. Weather down here is, I think it's mid-70s. It's not bad. Might get up to as high as 80 today. I'm not sure. That's what they claim. It's been cool the last couple of days, but it's nice now. And as far as I know, for the next few days, it's going to be that way. We're in Richmond. You just get on the freeway for about 10 minutes, and you're in Houston. And running 7,300, and I have an off-center fed up about 25 feet. So anyway, how do you copy there? K0RWB, WB4SIO.
Well, Luther, you're about 5 and 7. You're kind of hitting me on the side of the beam. We've got it rotated around to about 180, and you're still a little bit farther than that for me. But hey, we're able to make the contact. That's all that matters. No problem copying at all. The QTH here, Luther, we're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. So not a huge distance between us, but nice to see that 20 meters is doing okay today there, Roger.
Sure, you're doing quite well here. You're running about 10 over, so you got a good signal for sure there. What's your handle, over?
Yeah, the name here is Randy, Romeo Alpha November Delta Yankee. We've also got you, we're live streaming here this afternoon on YouTube, Luther, so we've got you here on the live stream. If you're interested in coming back later and listening to our QSO, you can find our channel one of two ways. On our QRZ page, we've got a link. You click the link, takes you to my channel, or you go to YouTube, go to the search bar, and just type in my call, K0RWB. Look for the video today's date, and about 25 minutes in there, Roger.
Oh, okay, sure, Randy, very good. What's your rig there?
I'm sorry, copy again?
What sort of rig are you running?
We're running the Yaesu FTDX10 here today. We've got that paired with the Heil PR781. Got a hex beam up in the air about 45 feet from the base plate. And we're running a little bit of power this afternoon with an ACOM 1000. Not anything real special, but it works okay for us there, Roger.
Yeah, that's real special for me. That sounds very good. Sounds like you have a real nice setup there, Randy, in Kansas City. Hadn't been there, but I lived up in Illinois for a while and been to Missouri, driven through anyway. So I've been to St. Louis. But at any rate, have a nice afternoon, and 73's Randy, and very nice speaking with you. K0RWB, WB4SIO.
Well, thank you very much, Luther. And we generally are out here in the evenings on 40 meters, usually around 7 o'clock to talk about. And we try to be respectful, give everybody some time and what have you. Just have a good time with it.
And of course, a little added dimension of having it on the YouTube channel as well makes it kind of fun. So, hey, enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Thank you for coming back to my CQ. You're the first one so far. Been trying to catch some of the kids on the high school club roundup and had a few of those, but couldn't hear much on our end, so we decided to find a spot and call CQ ourselves. So feel free to come back anytime. Nice to hear you, and have a great what's left of the week. Whiskey Bravo 4, CI India Oscar. Kilowatt Zero Radio at Whiskey Bravo. Take care, 73s.
73s, Randy.
Okay, QRZ, any other stations out there? K0RWB?
Alpha 1, Italy Alpha.
I knew that was coming at some point. Hang on, Mark. Let me bring the beam up around a little bit. Pointing toward Texas probably ain't going to help you down in Daytona Beach. Well, let's see if it works better this time. Where's the old guy at there anyway? Alpha 1, India Alpha. Kilowatt Zero Radio at Whiskey Bravo returning.
Hey, Randy, good to hear from you, man. It's been a little while.
Yeah, stand by, Mobile.
Glad to connect up with you again. Had a little COVID issue, and just that threw me out of the game for a week or two, and just keeping busy. Just took a month off, and had a lady friend come up and visit me. We took off and had a good time for a month there, and just doing my AA1IA thing. Yeah, I'm messing with the audio here again. I'm kind of glad I caught you there. And hey, man, you've been having all kinds of equipment woes, haven't you? So I'll throw it back to you, and you can tell me about it.
Well, it's been an eventful year. I'm trying to remember what happened when and where, but the tower had gone down, radio issues, radio blowing up, those kind of things, and then a couple of projects we had to do that kept us off the air for a couple of weeks, trying to get back a little bit more consistent, especially in the evenings. That doesn't help us a lot between the two of us. We got into Ocala last night. It wasn't an extremely strong station, but we were able to make a little contact with them, so that wasn't terribly bad.
But it's like you. Next thing you know, the time gets away from you, and it's really hard to kind of wonder where the time went there. Go ahead.
Very good on that, man. Well, it's just, it warms my heart to hear you out there again, my friend, and it's good to hear you. You know, the band is heading towards normalcy when Randy gets on there, if you know what I'm saying there, brother. So yeah, I'm just playing with a little audio here. I was listening on that other station that I just worked. He was also on video. KB2 something or other, I don't know. Nice guy. Had a nice little chat. Listen to the audio. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of messing with it a little bit. So we're going to make a couple of big old buzzard, not too long old buzzard transmissions, but anyways, just enough so I can hear. I brought up the bottom a little bit here, just a little, couple of little twists on the M1. But very good, man. Your signal is 59 plus 10 as usual. You're killing it, brother. You're killing it. K0ROB from AA1IA, RWB. Sorry.
No problem, Mark. Yeah, you were probably talking to Doug, KB2UKA. Up there in Long Island. Doug and I have known each other for a while, and he does quite well on his live stream. If people haven't been to his channel, they should check him out. He does some really interesting things. I think it's entertaining as well. All of us are doing something maybe a little bit different. Mine is anything special. We do have a few people that seem to hang around, which you're one of them, of course, and we certainly do appreciate that. We've got Dr. Fred down in South Carolina and Bobby in North Carolina, make my correction, and we've got another one out in Colorado as well. Is really nice, and to have the folks kind of stick around wherever we're at, and then be able to have a chance to talk with the news stations as well. Always makes it a lot of fun. Again, we're not bored with this at all. We're still having a good time with it. I think others are as well. And we kind of help with the Cub or the Boy Scout Jamboree over the weekend, and we're able to have a couple of QSOs with a couple of different scout troops and got them on on YouTube, and we've got a couple of comments back, and they really get a kick out of it, you know. And if that helps these kids maybe in the future become ham operators, I think it's a great thing, and it's just something a little different. I just don't think the kids realize that we could do there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I get that, my brother. I get that. You know, seems to me they just don't freaking care. They got their phones. They can talk around the world instantly. What do they need us for? So all I say is more space for me. Those kids are freaking rugrats. I'll slap every one of them. Yeah, brother, I went out fishing yesterday and I got too much sun, so I'm kind of taking it easy today and just having at it. And I agree with everything you say, man. It's all good. It's all good. But it's here for whatever you want to do with it, man. You make the most of it, and we all glom on to you so we can hear our audio, man. K0RWDAA1IA.
No, Mark, I think it sounds fine. I know you said you've been making some adjustments, and that's all you can do is just, you know, keep talking to different stations, and you know, like mine or Doug or Alex or any of the guys out there that are doing it, and you know, tweak it how you seem, you know, or don't do it at all, and you know, hey, no big deal. I will tell you real quick, we did have in the shack a 101D, which you have the MP, but this was the D. We had it for 4 days, and sent it back. Turned it on one morning and had two big thick lines right through the screen, horizontally, not vertically, but horizontally. And a couple of calls to Yeshu, didn't correct the issue, was pretty fed up, a little disgusted, and called the store after talking with Yeshu and sent it back. And I said, send me another FTDX10 and the remaining balance. So now we've got two in the shack, Mark. We've got one up here in Studio A, of course, and we've got one down in Studio B, where we were at last evening. So we liked them so much, we've got two of them, Mark, there, Roger.
Good Lord. Help them freaking Yezu dudes, huh? I'll tell you, I don't know, man. I had one little problem when I got it. It wasn't even a problem. It was just me being, you know, dyslexic or something. I don't know, man. Couldn't figure out how to get onto 60 meters, and for the life of me, I'm scratching my head. How do you do this? I've never been on that band, so I ended up, I'm like, called the Yezu. They put me right to the shop. I guess nobody else was around, so I got to talk with somebody in the shop, and he was giggling his way through explaining. Well, I'll tell you, man. But yeah, I've heard a couple of different things about the upper crust Yezus. Thank God I haven't had any trouble with mine. I love this thing, man. Ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like this.
Far out yet, but we're trying to get, you know, some of the information out there, and people maybe can put it on their calendar, so to speak. And we will be listed in December's issue of QST magazine as well. So we're pretty excited about that. There, go ahead.
That sounds awesome, man. That sounds awesome. Well, we'll be looking for that. I've got nothing going on around Christmas, man. Freaking boring time of the year, and drink a lot and eat a lot and just send presents out to everybody, and that's about it, man. All the kids are up in the Northeast, so I don't need much to do. So we'll definitely be playing a lot of radio and looking forward to that, man. Yeah, I like anything to do with radio. Keep me busy. Give me an excuse to press the transmit button. We're happy with that. Hey, listen, man, it's been great yakking with you. I'm gonna let you go. I'm sure there's other people out there, and you know, we could flap all day long, you know. So, because we just the flappers, man. So you take care. It's good to hear you.
Do you really think Mark can talk all day long? I know Mark can talk all day long.
Started it all. 7-3s to you. We'll catch you later. AA1IA.
Okay, Mark, sounds good. Don't listen to the playback. I've just never mind. Hey, nice to hear you out there. It's been a while since we've had a chance to work, but just the way it plays out. No problem with it whatsoever. I'm glad we got a chance to get out here on 20 meters this afternoon. We had all of our work done in the shop that we were going to get done today, so it gave us a little bit more time here. Plus, we wanted to see if we could make some contact with the school roundup clubs, and we were able to get a couple of them. So anyway, nice to hear you again. I know we'll talk again soon. At least I hope so. I wish we could do a little better on 40 meters. We're having such a great time down there. That's the bulk of our time is on 40, but we'll figure something else, Mark. Nice to hear you again, my friend. And yeah, take it easy today. The week's almost done, and then you got the weekend to do what you want. So 7-3s for now. Alpha 1, India Alpha, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. 7-3s, Mark.
Okay, man. You can look. I mostly hang down on 40, but
This is KO4 NNO.
notification thing on YouTube that lets me know you're out there, and I just travel on up and say howdy. Catch you later, man. K0RWB, AA1IA.
Okay, Mark, that sounds good. I do appreciate it. Yeah, it was nice to catch up with you a little longer than usual, but that's the way it works. We'll say 7-3s. I know there was a station in a while ago. We went a little bit long with Mark, but we haven't talked in a while. It's a mobile station. He's probably gone by now, but we'll give it a real chance here to see if maybe he might be in there. We did hear a mobile station. If you're still in there, give me your call, please. I got the November 1. Give me the suffix. Yeah, I know this is going to be a struggle trying to pull you out there. We'll try it again one more time.
Yeah, November 1, Whiskey Charlie Tango, Mobile.
There we go. You must have put another quarter in the jukebox or turned the volume up. Got you that time, Justin. Boy, you really kept it up that time. Well, thank you, and hey, thanks for hanging in there. We usually don't go that long on QSO, but haven't had a chance to talk to Mark in a couple of months, but I'm glad you hung in there. Again, the name here is Rainey, the QTH. We're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri there. Go ahead.
QSO on that. Yeah, I'm a truck driver. I'm up here on the New York Thruway getting ready to jump on the Mass Pike in a little bit, headed back home for the evening. I live in Connecticut. Probably about 2 hours away from home. The flatbed driver, I dedicated for General Electric out of here in upstate New York, and I'm just, like I said, just making my way back home in the diesel wagon here.
Hey, Roger. Well, you kind of hit me off the side of the beam. We were pointed to Florida, so we kind of brought the beam around up your direction. You came up in my receive. Hopefully it'll help you in yours as well. And, well, I'm hoping you're loaded. You don't get paid to deadhead there, do you?
Oh, no, I always go home loaded. I got some copper bars right now. They're called field winds, or the field winds. So if you ever took a shaft out of a field shaft out of a turbine, out of like a generator, you'll see there's a whole bunch of copper rods going from one end to the other end on insulators, and I have a load of those copper rods, and they're going to get sanded down and resurfaced there.
Well, I would venture to guess if you've got a load of copper, people are probably looking for you, because that's highly sought after there, Roger.
Yeah, it's a little bit of money. You know, some good pocket change right there. Not very much weight. It's only 13,000 pounds. They're in these aluminum tubs, and I think the aluminum tubs are way more than the copper, because I think there's 40 bars, but they're like 1 inch wide and probably they're a couple inches wide and about a quarter of an inch thick. They're not really big.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, you know, I take it that you're actually you're mobile, moving down the road, because if you are, man, that signal hasn't wavered one bit. It's not strong in my receive. There's not much noise on the band, but you're 5 and 3, 5 and 4. But boy, that signal is dead. Just been rock steady there. Go ahead.
Yeah, so what I got for a radio is I actually got a Unity.
As soon as I say that, and he drops down. Isn't that always the way?
I'd say it's doing a good job for you. You did take a little bit of a dive that time. It never fails. As soon as I say something nice about a signal, then the band always wants to correct me. But hey, no problem at all. Probably one of the better sounding mobiles I've had a chance to talk to in quite some time. So congrats on the setup. It's working really well for you. We've had no luck whatsoever trying to set up a mobile setup at all. So we run portable from time to time. We had several opportunities this year to run portable operations and worked out really well, but we've had no luck whatsoever mobile. So we'll leave it to the experts like yourself there, Roger.
Yeah, we're currently at 378 feet, and we're doing a little bit of a descent here. I peaked over there like 431 at one point, but we're going to be climbing up some good hills over here in the Berkshires in a little while there.
Hey, Roger. Well, I tell you, of course, this is your grid square on my logger, the QTH, and it shows 1,125 miles from your grid to my grid. So that's still a pretty good distance. I know you're probably a little shy of that because you haven't quite reached the final destination, but I will say that for mobile, it's doing really, really well this evening or this afternoon. So nice to know that 20 meters has been open pretty good there. Go ahead.
Thank you, Russell. Yeah, I'm up on the New York Thruway getting ready to jump on the bike train. Probably got another 26 miles. I'm over by exit B2, the kind of State Parkway. Obviously, I can't take a truck down the Parkway. Yeah, it's kind of cool, you know, talking on 20 meters, being able to jump on the road in the big truck and slap some HF in here and make some contact.
Yeah, that's great. Well, good for you. Like I said, we have tried it in the past. Of course, in the old, on 2 meters, not really that difficult, of course, and we don't have anything in the vehicle now. We did in the years past, and then in the old days, CBs running 11 meters. That was pretty straightforward, pretty simple. We just didn't have any luck doing it here for HF. And we've had the radios over the years that would certainly do that, but gosh, we just never could really make it work. And which not a problem. Again, all we do is we pack up the equipment, go to where we're going to go, unpack it, set it up, and we'll work portable all day. We've got no problem with that at all. But it's just the way it works. Well, Justin, I'll say 7-3s to you. We've got just a little bit more time. I'll make a few more contacts, and we actually have been spinning the band trying to find some of the high school roundup, the club roundups, and didn't hear anything. So we found our own little frequency and started calling CQ. We're also live on YouTube this afternoon as well, Justin. So if you're interested to actually hear what that mobile sounds like between you and I, you can go to YouTube and put in my call. My channel is my call, K0RWB. Look for the video with today's date and about 45 minutes in there, Roger.
All right, sure, so I'll have to do that. I'm ascending here. I'm at 779 feet right now and climbing, so you should be getting a pretty decent copy on me anyway. November 1, Whiskey Charlie Tango.
Yeah, you took a dive, and then you're coming up a little bit, so that just tells me that you are moving up and down, and that's what the signals are going to do for us. We certainly understand that. But anyway, if you get a chance, give a look and a listen and see what you think. We'll give you a heads up. We have a webcam that's pointed right at me, so you get to see my smiley face. Other than that, it's been a lot of fun. We do have our radio display up on the channel, so you can see the signal report. You get to see your wave pattern, your audio wave pattern. We have our oscilloscope listed on it as well. So if you get a chance, give a look and a listen, see what you think. Generally in the evenings, Justin, we're on 40 meters around 7 o'clock Central Time. And if you happen to be out and about on 40 meters and you hear us, by all means, give us a call again, and we'll just pick it where we left off there, Roger?
Yeah, sure, will do. What's your call sign again?
Roger, the call here is Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo, K0 red, white, and blue. Hey, Justin, be safe out there on your drive, and thank you for hanging in there. Appreciate your patience and persistence. I'm glad we were able to make the contact this afternoon. Hope to have a chance to work you again. I don't see a contact on my log here, so thank you for the first one here on 20 meters. So we'll say 7-3s, and hopefully it will work again. November 1, Whiskey Charlie Tango, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3s. Okay, you take care, Justin. 7-3s. I had a station a while ago. I didn't get the call, but he did give South Carolina. So if the operator there in South Carolina, if you're still in there, come back with your call, please. Well, we'll try it one more time just in case. There was an operator a while ago that called in with the location of South Carolina. If you're in there, sir, try your call again. Well, nothing heard. Okay, we'll just leave it open. QRZ, any other stations, please? I believe there's a Kilo 5 station. There's a bunch out there. Sorry about that, guys. I did hear a Kilo 5. If you try it again, please.
Yeah, Randy, Kilo 5 friendly radio ham. Kilo 5 friendly radio ham. K5FRH. Got you about a 5.8. Not real strong signal. Nothing's real strong in Dallas this afternoon. We got you about a 58 into Dallas, Texas. The name is Rod, Romeo Oscar Delta, and just like you, I've been cruising up and down the band trying to contact as many of these school stations as I could, and having a blast doing it. Over.
Hey, Roger. Well, I'll tell you, you're doing pretty good considering you hit me dead center off the back of the beam. We were actually pointed up toward New York, and so it's nice. One, you can hear me, and two, that you can I can hear you. We're going to rotate around just a little bit. Hopefully, it'll pick up in your receive, and you'll hopefully you'll pick up in mine as well, there, Roger.
Well, it's good to know I was hitting you on the back of the beam. That makes me feel better. I thought the band was falling out a little bit there, but I'm glad to hear it. So have you had good success with contacting the schools? The only frustrations I've had is there's been a couple of schools here in the state of Texas that are just too close in for me to work on 20 meters. I can hear stations in other states calling them, but I can't hear them. But other than that, I've made a ton of contacts and just have been having a blast. Over.
Well, you know, we did work one station. I believe it was they were south of Dallas. It came in quite strong, and we heard a few others earlier. We've been out here for just about let's see here, for almost an hour, and we turned our live stream on YouTube. We wanted to try to get some of these club stations on our YouTube channel so they could go back later and listen to the QSO. That's initially what we started for, and in my location here, a lot of the stations we're not able to pick up. So I said, no problem. We've got some people here in the live chat, Roberta and Mark and Scott and a few others. And I said, well, if the guys are out there listening and they're watching me on the live stream, we'll just find ourselves an open spot and call CQ, Rod. So that's what we've been doing ever since there. Go ahead.
You know, I think that is a fantastic idea. That is a fantastic idea, what you're doing with YouTube. I may have to research that a little bit more myself. And I think that would be ideal for any of the school stations that you're able to contact. What I'm doing, I'm just watching a DX Summit. I'm watching the spotter website, DX Summit, and I'm watching the people reporting contacts with the various schools, and then trying to pick them up myself. I think you were either working, trying to work probably Texas A&M down in College Station, or there's a high school down in Austin that it's one of those two probably that you were working, but they are all over the United States, but a lot of them are clustered up in the Northeast, and that may be too close for you. But I think if you, I tell you what, it's so much fun to talk to some of those high school and junior high students because they just haven't gotten over their mic fright yet, and I think they would be so much fun if they could see themselves, or not necessarily see themselves, but hear themselves on the radio. Over.
Well, that's very true, and we did this a little bit on Saturday. The Boy Scout Jamboree was going on, and we were actually trying to get a troop out of Tennessee. We had an operator who touched base with a week ago, and he was going to be involved helping them get on the air. So we were kind of trying to work them and we were not able to on 40 meters, so we were able to make contact with a few other troops. One up in Iowa, there was one I think in Colorado, and one in Arizona as well. And we've gotten some emails and some text messages back from them, and they thought it was just the greatest thing. Again, it's hard to see the young generation without having a phone in their face. However, I think they don't realize you could put these two mediums together and have a great time with it. So again, I'm not the first one to think of this. There's a lot of people out here that are doing live streams on the radio as well. I just thought, hey, what a great time. A lot of people like to be able to listen to themselves on the air, and I think it would kind of get the kids' interest, and so far it seems like they've really enjoyed it there. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. I guess I'm going to have to do a little Googling. I mean, I use YouTube quite a bit for viewing. I guess I'm going to have to do a little Googling, how to set up your own YouTube channel or how to live stream on YouTube. Is there very much involved to get it going over?
Well, I tell you, it's quite expensive. I think it cost me almost $20, and that's only for the video capture card that we use. Rod, you can go to my channel for one, and you get to listen to yourself today on RQSO. But it's really quite simple. We're able to take our radio display. We have a Yaesu, FTDX10, so we can take our radio display. We can actually put that on to the YouTube channel. We've got a webcam pointed right at us. Hi, I'm waving. And on our radio display, we have our oscilloscope set up so you can actually see your audio wave pattern. So the peaks and the valleys, if you're looking at adjusting audio, or you got a new microphone, you got a new radio, or whatever the case may be, that's a great way to kind of get an idea of any adjustments you want to make. I mean, you don't get the chance to hear yourself on the air very often, and this is just a great way of doing it. It's just another added dimension of amateur radio. We're having a great doing this since February, so we're relatively new at it. Been having a great time. We generally do this on 40 meters in the evenings here, 7 o'clock Central. We do a live stream in the evenings, and that's where we get a lot of contact with some operators, and we have a great time with that as well. Roger?
Hey, can you give me the live stream address, please?
Yeah, it's the call, K0RWB. Did you copy that, Rod?
Yeah, I copied. I was giving him a chance to break in there. Yeah, I have a couple of monitor scopes. In fact, I have an Heathkit, one of the old venerable Heathkit SB610s here, the old monitor, inline monitor scope, but I just have it wired to look at my transmit audio, but it has inputs on it, so I could easily receive into it as well. But no, I think I'll have to look into that. I'll really have to look into that. I think that would be fun. What's fun when you're talking to the younger students there, you can tell they're kind of given scripts of what to say, and so if I ask them a question like, how long have you been on the radio, or tell me a little bit about your school, or if I ask them something that's not on the script, you can kind of picture in your mind that they're having to turn around and ask their sponsor what to say, because they kind of freeze up. And I think that reminds me, I started my ham radio journey when I was probably in about first or second grade, and it kind of just reminds me of myself when I was handed a microphone, I would turn to a statue, and it just kind of reminds me of myself back then. Over.
Oh, no doubt. And it does change. You can see the change as they get older. Again, the Boy Scouts I dealt with on the weekend were around that 12 years of age, and did have mic fright, and a lot of one-word answers, responses. So again, you've got to kind of ask them questions that kind of get them to talk. And I will tell you a really quick story. I was talking to some kids in Iowa, and I did ask them, I said, do you like football? And he said, yeah, we love the Kansas City Chiefs. We like to watch football. I said, okay. I said, so when Iowa and Iowa State plays, who do you root for? And I swear to you, this kid's going to be a politician. He goes, well, I really didn't watch that game, and had a good laugh over that. So it's amazing. You can hear these kids and what they've got to say. Now, I will say this. The kids we've been hearing here this afternoon on the school roundup, most of them are very well versed. I mean, they're very good on the microphone, really good with phonetics. I jumped in a couple of times and said, please don't use the letters. Make sure you use your phonetics. And they kind of like, oh, yeah, you're right. And, again, you got to start them and do it right from the beginning. But, old habits or bad habits are hard to break. But otherwise, you can tell these kids are doing quite well. Did talk with a high school senior. He was very, very good on the air, and I got a feeling he's going to be joining the hobby for a long time there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. There's a station down in Gainesville. Keep an eye on this one. It's Kilo 4 Whiskey Tango Lima. Kilo 4 Whiskey Tango Lima, K4WTL. They're a high school station down in Gainesville. And I have worked them several times over the past couple of months. I worked them this week. I worked them during National Fire Prevention Week. They were teamed up with one of the local fire stations, and I've worked them on a couple other times. Whoever their sponsor is really aggressive at making sure they get on the air, and I think that club station is really going to be around for a while. Over.
Yeah, well, that was the first station that we tried to contact. We listened to them for a while just to see what kind of activity before we decided to go live on YouTube. And then we did. We listened a little bit more, and then then they disappeared. And we called out to them for a couple of times, and they never never responded back. So they may have shut it down or in between changing operators. But yeah, they were the first ones that we were trying to contact because they had a terrific signal here in my receive. But again, I think it's a great thing that kids are doing. And you have to give a lot of credit, like you said, to the sponsors, to the school administrators for allowing this to happen. I hope it's just not a matter of sitting in front of a radio and microphone, but to show them how to set up the antenna, where to run the coax, the grounding, and those kind of things. I hope it's all inclusive. They're able to do that as well, because I think the more you give these kids a chance to start using their brain instead of just say, well, here's a microphone, say hi, I think they might look at things in a different angle than maybe most of us would, and that might spur them also to be operators in the future there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I have these before I started talking to the club stations, I've had numerous conversations with other hams across the U.S., about how do we bring new blood into ham radio? How do we bring new blood into ham radio? Because I'm 67, and, I've loved ham radio since I was 6, and so I'd love to, I have been enjoying helping promote the school stations because of that reason, but prior to coming in contact with the school stations, I was having that conversation quite a bit, and it seems like there's a lot of people out there that work real hard to get their technician license, and they buy their little Bofang handheld, can't get anybody to talk to them, and they think that's all ham radio is, and they never advance beyond that point. So I'm glad to see that some of the schools are showing ham radio as another area of technology and helping the students get their heads squared on straight. And maybe some of them will develop the level of interest in it that I've developed all my life, and I don't know if that's possible with we didn't have any competing technologies back then. It was radio, and that was about it. But, for whatever reason, I think it's a very viable way of continuing to promote ham radio, and I'm all for it because I just don't want to see the hobby die. Over.
Yeah, I think you're right. And, I honestly will say, from my personal experience, especially, here doing the live streams the last 7 or 8, 9 months, we've had a chance, in course of the last year and a half, going on 2 years, has brought new operators into the hobby and has brought old operators back to the hobby who maybe have been away from it for a while. So, again, I think it's really healthy. The hobby is, because look at the equipment that's out there now for sale, Rod, and I don't think that these manufacturers would invest a lot of money in R&D, to come out with new products if they thought that the hobby was on a downward spiral. Now, it doesn't have huge gains year in and year out, and that's okay. I'd rather not see a big, huge influx. I'd rather see a steady progression. I'd like to see new operators get tied up to an Elmer or into a club or to a group, so they have some basis, of how things, should work, what's required, from the testing materials, and those kind of things. I was very fortunate. I had a very good Elmer when I first started this, and I still try to strive to be a good operator and a good steward of amateur radio. And I'd like to think he was proud that I've continued to kind of follow the things that he had taught me. And I'm hoping that a lot of our operators will have that same experience here, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I totally agree. And I'm always looking for new avenues. I've volunteered at the different groups at different times to be an Elmer. Probably one of the drawbacks I have personally is that I am not into the digital aspect of ham radio. I love HF. I love rag chewing. I love the fooling around with different. If you look at my webpage, you'll see I have a nice collection of radios. I love rag chewing. I love meeting new people on HF. But I don't know the first thing about FT8, and I don't want to learn anything about FT8 because to me that's just glorified email or glorified Zoom calls without the video. But that's my personal opinion. If somebody else loves it to death, more power to them. I'm not going to tell them. I'm not going to do anything to spoil their fun. But if somebody says, hey, we'd like for you to help us get on FT8, I would be the wrong person to talk to. Over.
Yeah, but that's okay though, because you don't know much about it, but you know somebody who does. Or if this young operator or somebody who's just gotten into the hobby is curious and they come over to HF and start listening to different QSOs, or they break in, hey, is there somebody that could give me a lowdown on FT8? I have yet to see an operator, in my experience, if you ask somebody a question or ask for their input or their opinion, that they have failed to do that. I think we're all willing to do that because we all want to be successful in this hobby to whatever degree your success may or may not be. But I have yet to see operators. There might be a few here and there. I don't think I've ever run across them. If I have, I've pushed them out of my mind. But we're I think we're a very welcoming group, and I think we're more than willing to share information, to give our opinions on certain equipment and things that worked, that didn't work. There are people who love to build antennas. There are people who love the digital modes. I have a good friend of mine in New York. He just loves FT8. I've used it on occasion. I have nothing against it. But there's other things. You put a microphone in front of me, and I'm a whole lot happier, as you can tell. But again, there's something for everybody, and there are people who have vast experience in different aspects of the hobby, which I think are more than willing to give help when asked, or even just volunteer the information. So again, I think the hobby is in great shape. I've talked to a 9-year-old outside of Denton, Texas, back in May. And the kid was so well versed, knew the phonetic alphabet much better than even some of us do, and was very taken back at how well he handled himself on the air. He was in his dad's shack working with his dad. He had his technician. Dad was his general, and the kid's 9 years old and was getting his general in May. And it was it still struck me to this day. So I think all in all, the hobby is in good shape. And if I'm wrong, somebody can tell me why.
Comment. Did I hear a break?
Well, if you must, come on in.
Oh, no, I've been waiting. I'm sorry. I was just waiting my turn here. I just want to interject a comment on your conversation, if I could. Kilo 4 Kilo Golf Papa. You copy all right?
Yeah, you're fine. Go ahead. What's the name there?
The name is Greg Golf, Romeo Echo Golf in North Carolina. Just a quick comment here. Listen to you. I'm an NCS with a group here in North Carolina. And some of the consensus that we've got from people here in the Carolinas and a lot of the groups is the reason why they're not advancing in their ticket and staying basically as a technician is because they listened on the HF, and to them, most of the nets that they hear are about as boring as watching paint dry. Because they don't want to, they could care less about the weather in Ohio, or they could care less about the weather in Florida, and they sit there and they listen. I've had a group of people that listened for several hours, and 1 out of 12 said that they enjoy it, and the rest of them thought it was absolutely boring because of the conversations of talking about weather. They don't understand contesting. They don't care about park chasing. So, I mean, and again, not to sound negative to your comments, brother, it's just some of these people need to understand that I'm like you guys. I'm a rag chewer. I could care less about contesting and park chasing, but this is the consensus that we got from a lot of folks here in the Carolinas. They just don't understand, and as far as the digital technology, they're trying to get past the nuts themselves before they even think about advancing. Back to you.
No, it's certainly, and the comments are are certainly understandable. My question back to them, if they took the time to get their technician's license, my question would be, well, why did you want to do that? What was it about ham radio, getting your technician license, that appealed to you? And then work off of that. But you are right. There's some people who don't care about contesting or about the weather and so forth, and I think that's just a difference in generational things. Again, that's one of the reasons why I decided to try to do this, what we're doing now with the live stream, because I've gotten these kids have sent me comments, thought it was really cool that you could put two mediums together and get something common. I'm not taking credit for it per se, because I'm not the first one who's done this. But that would be the question I would ask. So you got your technicians, well, what was it about ham radio that appealed to you? And again, if they don't want to advance, I mean, I can certainly understand that as well. And you hope that they would get maybe some feedback. I'm not a big 2-meter 440 guy, because I don't like to hear the same things every night talking about the same stuff. I get your point. So I think we've got to mix it up and do different things as well.
Yep, QSL on that, K4KGP for ID. No, I agree, and I've asked them the same question, why do you want to participate? And that's the first thing I ask is, what encouraged you or what motivated you to consider going into amateur radio? And you get a mixed mash of different answers, and to me, most of them are, you take it with a grain of salt. Some of them actually wanted to, be honest, get away from 11 meter because they're tired of the nonsense, and they wanted to try to gain a little bit more experience and knowledge and find out a little bit more about what real radio communications are all about. Some of them it's because they've had friends that are involved in it. They're 2-meter as well, but I try to show them both sides of it, the HF versus VHF type of thing, and you're going to get, like I say, a mixed bag of comments in return. But I agree with you. I like the YouTube. I've got myself on several YouTubes there, and my QRZ page. How I actually attracted a lot of these folks is when they looked at my QRZ page and seen all the contacts I've made around the world, and building my own antennas and doing things, that I do as amateur. I teach a survival and wilderness survival class on the 2-meter group, actually, here in Union County, North Carolina, and we do a lot of things like that. We do classes instead of just a general check-in. So that's my way of trying to get other folks interested in radios, an educational part of it. But listen, I appreciate you letting me get my comments in there. And again, like I say, I just felt the need to say that and to join both sides here. I agree with you guys, and I just want to get my point across on what we're hearing here in the Carolinas. But gentlemen, listen, have an amazing day. And again, thank you so much for letting me jump in here and get a comment in. Kilo 4 Kilo Golf Papa, Greg here in Monroe, North Carolina. I'll be listening. Thank you.
Hey, Greg. Yeah, it's not a problem at all. You're totally welcome here anytime. This is a big surprise because we usually aren't on 20 meters here in the afternoon. We're generally out in the shop. We have a part-time business we work, but we had stuff done today. And then we did hear last night from some folks on our 40-meter channel that the School Club Roundup was going on this week. So we wanted to try to get some of the kids make some contacts and get them on our live stream as well, so they have a chance to go back and listen. We've had good responses in the past, but not a problem. Like I said, we're generally on 40 meters in the evenings, 7 o'clock Central, which we will be tonight. So if you're out and about and you happen to hear me out there again, by all means, feel free to stop back in, give us a call. And we've got lots of operators we talk with in North and South Carolina and Virginia, all up and down the eastern seaboard. So feel free to come back anytime there, Greg, not a problem at all. And we'll certainly have some fun with that. So we're going to put you in our log here as well, even though it was a comment. Very well versed. This is a fairly open area, so we do appreciate it very much. We'll say 7-3 for you now. Hey, Rodney, real quick, you got anything else to add there? We've got a couple more minutes. We've only got 1 quarter left to put in the box, so we'll let you finish it up, and then we'll try to make one more call, and then we'll have to shut it down for the afternoon there. Go ahead, Rod.
Continue this subject with you for the next hour, Randy, because I'm always looking for new input on how to help new hams grow. But, since we're down to the last quarter here, I wanted to ask you, it looks like your hex beam is probably up about 30 feet, just kind of looking at it, how high it is up above the roof line. How long have you had it? What has your experience been with it? Because I'm looking at eventually putting up a hex beam myself. Over.
Roger. Well, the hex beam we've had since 2012, January of 2012. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I know there's bigger and better, more gain and so forth, more element beams, but I'm totally happy with this. It's actually 45 feet from the base plate to the ground. Picture might be a little off a little bit, but that's the actual measurements from the center mass pipe. We don't like having the extra weight at the top with the rotor, so we put our rotor in the tower, of course, that you see in the picture. It's only 4 foot off the ground, and then we run a center mass pipe up about halfway up to a thrust bearing and another one at the top. It takes all the weight off the rotor. That way, if we ever have to have the rotor serviced, we can still use the antenna. That was our thought process behind that, but it's worked out quite well for us. Again, I tell people anytime, if you're looking for a poor man's beam, if you can find me a beam that works 6-20 for under $1,000, I say go get it, because this one here shipped to your door for 600 plus is not a bad deal there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, I guess that's not adding a lot of weight to your rotor there, because your mass probably weighs about 20 pounds, I would guess. But are you having to use a more heavy-duty rotor because of the way you have it mounted, over?
No, because I have no weight on the rotor whatsoever, because the two thrust bearings are holding all the weight.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I like that idea of mounting it down in the bottom of the tower like that, because like you say, it makes it a whole lot easier to service. Yeah, I like that. Well, look, I could carry this conversation on all day long, but it sounds like you got other fish to fry, so I'm going to let you run. And I like your QSL card. I might drop you a QSL card. I QSL the special event stations. That's my cup of tea, by the way. We talked about what different people are interested in. My cup of tea is, when there's a group of special event stations on, whether it's high school this week, Boy Scouts last week, Fire Prevention Week, or Museum Week, or whatever. I like to work them and get their QSL card. So that's my cup of tea, and that's what I enjoy doing. But everybody to their own. So you have a great afternoon, Randy, and I will talk to you down the band. K0 RWB K5FRH.
Well, Rodney, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much. And again, if you're looking at maybe doing a live stream yourself, I'm good in QRZ. Send me an email, and I'll give you a breakdown on what I did. Again, the software I use is free. Getting a YouTube channel is free. It doesn't cost anything. So you could basically do this. Doesn't cost you a penny. It was a $20 video capture card so I could put my radio display on the channel. That's all I had to spend for. But anyway, I had people to help me. I had a lot. I mean, to where I'm at now, I had a lot of people involved to help me get where I'm at today with the live stream, and I'm more than willing to pay it forward. So if you anything I can help with, send me an email. I'm good in QRZ. Be happy to try to help you. I think the more people who do this, the more exposure it gets out there. Maybe it will instill some other people to get into the hobby. I think it cannot be a bad thing. So anyway, you and yours, be safe, be well. Be sure to look for us again, either maybe once in a while here on 20, but mostly on 40 meters in the evenings. And hopefully we'll get a chance to work. So on the side of my beam, you're doing really, really well. So I'm glad to see the beam is okay. And thanks for Greg out there in North Carolina as well. Kilo 5 Foxtrot Romeo Hotel, Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City, 7-3.
Okay, Randy, great afternoon. Sorry I couldn't talk to Greg out there. Greg, if you hear me, I just could not hear you. So K0RWB in the group, K5FRH, we're clear.
All right, sounds good. We've got time for one more call, and we'll shut it down. K0RWB, QRZ. Any other stations, please? Well, there's a couple other ones. The one I could able to pull out, the suffix was Oscar Golf Station. That's all I could pull out. Try it again, please.
Kilo Oscar 4, Oscar Golf Juliet.
Kilo Oscar 4, and then give me the suffix.
Oscar Golf Juliet.
Okay, my apologies. I wanted to make sure we got it in the log properly. Kilo Oscar 4, Oscar Golf Juliet. There, Roger?
Yeah, QSL, Randy, you got it.
Okay, good enough. Just want to make sure we've got it logged right. Let me move the beam around just a little bit, get a little bit closer to you. It looks like you're down in the Tampa area there, Roger.
Yeah, that's Roger. I'm subscribed to the YouTube channel. I saw you were broadcasting, so I decided to get on here and see if I could get you.
Well, I appreciate that very much. It means a lot. Do you go by Philip or Phil? What's the preferred name there? Go ahead.
Yeah, you can call me Phil. That's fine.
Okay, well, great. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, again, this is kind of a surprise for us. We generally don't have any time in the afternoons, but again, we do a live stream in the evenings on 40 meters, and we had a couple of stations mention the high school club roundup that was going on, and I thought, well, hey, we'll just kind of run the band here for a little bit and see if we could get a hold of a few of the stations. There's one in Gainesville, if you've been copying, that you probably heard that conversation. There's been a few others, and we wanted to try to make contact with them and try to get them on our YouTube, on our live stream, so they could maybe get a chance to listen to themselves later. That's just kind of how it got started. And we didn't have much luck there, Phil, so we just found ourselves a spot and started calling CQ. We've got Mark is down there in Daytona. He kind of chimed in, and we've got a few others there on the live chat. So that's all we've been doing, but alas, we've only got so many quarters, so you're the last contact of the day there. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I feel honored. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I've been listening for a while here. I listen all the time, man. Everything that you talk with the other guys about, it's very interesting. I'm a newly licensed general. I've only been licensed since March, and it's just amazing to listen to you talk. I pick up a lot of stuff, and fantastic, man. Love the channel.
Well, I appreciate it. And it's kind of what we wanted this to be. This isn't a contest, Phil, so we don't do 5/9 QRZ. We really can't do 10, 15-minute QSOs. It happens once in a while. We don't mean any disrespect when it happens, but we try to be respectful of everybody's time. The people sitting on the side waiting and so forth, and maybe get tired of it. And I understand that. So we do try to be respectful of everybody's time. When we are able to make contact with the station, again, we want to make sure that they get some time as well. Talk about what you want. That's what we wanted this channel to be. Is people can exchange information. They've got a great story to tell, or anything in between. And it's just been a great time. And we have been really, really fortunate that we've had an opportunity to talk with some great operators. And I'm learning stuff even every day. I haven't been a ham that long, since 2008, but I pick up stuff every day from other operators, other things they've done, what's worked, what hasn't worked, and so forth. And I think if you continue listening and learning, you evolve as an operator, and I think it just makes you better in the long run there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. Absolutely. With the COVID thing going around, I am aligned with one of the local clubs here in Tampa. However, they're kind of hesitant to have any kind of group meetings yet. I think that's going to loosen up here really soon. But yeah, getting a chance to be around the club, learning from other guys who have been in this for a long, long time. I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to that, Roger.
Yeah, that's good. And I think what you're doing is you're handling yourself and your station in the right way. Because the first couple of things you said is you've been listening, and that's the first thing my Elmer told me, is to listen and listen some more before you do anything. And it really does go a long ways. And I like to think I'm still doing that. We do listen for quite a while before we key up on a frequency. It can get kind of busy, can get congested from time to time, and the last thing we want to do is to bleed over in other stations. I know it's 3KC and so forth, but once in a while it can get a little worse than that. So we always try to do that, and it sounds to me you're doing the same thing. So either you had somebody involved when you first got started who kind of gave you the lowdown, or you picked it up from listening. But it sounds to me that you're handling it right as well there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, it's a lot of listening. I didn't start actually transmitting until maybe just about a month ago. Got my station set up, put my antenna up, got all that put together right, but just listened. Boy, I'll tell you what, I picked up a lot just listening to guys on the air, Roger.
Oh yeah, no doubt, and I've done the same thing as well. Again, when I do the live stream, I try not to make it about me. I try to make it about you or people that call in. You've called in, you want to say hi. I get it. That's what we have microphones for. But you have something to say. Now, if you call and say, hey, Randy, you're 5'9", see ya. Well, okay, then that's your choice. You can do that. But generally, people have got something to say. I'm all for it. And I do different things from different weeks, and we ask questions to operators when people will check in, like yourself. What's your favorite band? Are the bands getting better? Is there one contact that stands out above all the others? Now, that might be easier for somebody who's just started the hobby, but Phil, think about some operator who's been a ham for 40 or 50 years and try to pin them down to a contact that would stand out in their mind. So again, this is kind of what we want the channel to be, just kind of open, people to be able to share information and have tell a good story, and maybe somebody will get something out of it there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, I fully agree. Giving a signal report, QTH, that's good. I mean, that's getting your feet wet, but, every once in a while you find someone that you can have a kind of a good rag chew with, and that's satisfying as well, Roger. Yeah,
it's very true. Very, very true. My friend Mark, who's over in Daytona Beach, I don't think we've talked since August, and we could still be talking right now, and it would be great. I'd have to do it off of the live stream because, it would be a little tough for everybody to listen to, probably because of me, but, it's just the way it is. But one thing I did want to say, we're down in the area about every 2 years, and I'm sure you know this as well. We try to come down every 2 years to the Tampa area. We'd like to go over to the Tampa Fairgrounds. I'm sure you know where those are. We'd like to go to the big RV show that's in January, and we're looking at coming down this coming January to go to the RV show. We didn't go last year, of course, because the COVID too often. But looking forward to come down in January. A good excuse to look at pretty RVs and to get away from Midwest weather there, Roger.
Boy, Roger that. Yeah, a couple things here. So my eldest son-in-law, he has a fifth wheel. He does a lot of RVing. We'll be going to the RV show. And number two, my wife and I have a second QTH over on Treasure Island. So we're over on that side of the bay as well.
Oh, how funny! That's great. That is really way. Well, there are some areas that we just don't get tired of going back to, and our first time, 4 or 5 years ago, we stayed over by the Rock and Roll Cafe at their hotel up there, which was really close to the fairgrounds. I got a little pricey, and then we stayed the following time over in Clearwater. I had to go to our favorite restaurant over the Rockaway Grill. I'm sure you probably heard of that. But then we've stayed in Largo in times past, going down to Johns Pass. We always go to Fort DeSoto. We were in Siesta Key, down along the outer there. So we enjoy that area quite a bit. Again, it's really not bad weather when it's January there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. We always say, hey, that's kind of the reason we live in Florida is the weather there, January, February, March, even December. Yeah, it's fantastic, man. So, hey, absolutely, man. If you're going to be over this way, you're going to be going to the RV show. I'll keep in touch. Would love to meet you, man.
Yeah, by all means, that would be good. Again, hopefully we'll have a chance to work again. If you're out and about here on 40 meters, we'll be back on the air this evening about 7 o'clock Central. It'll be 8 o'clock your time for a little bit. We try to do that in the evenings as much as we can. Hopefully I'll have a chance. And again, my email is good in QRZ. Send me an email, and I know we can kind of keep track that way. Again, we've got a little bit of info on the page. Of course, we have that link that takes us right to the channel. Also, we put that new QSL card. That's going to be for our special event coming up over the Christmas time frame. So we're hoping that we'll have a good turnout for that as well. But hey, Phil, we'll let you go for now. We get a tap on the shoulder, then we get a second tap on the shoulder, and the third time around a slap upside the head, and I don't recommend that. So that and we're out of quarters. But very nice to work you. Congrats. Welcome to the hobby. For me personally, it does sound to me like you're doing it the right way. You know, and if you haven't found your niche, you will, or maybe you'll have several of them. That's the great thing. But feel free to come back anytime. We'd love to have a chance to work you again. Thank you for the first contact here on 20 meters, and hopefully we'll have a chance to work you on 40 as well. Hey, listen, I'll say 7-3 for now. Thank you so much for taking the time this afternoon to give us a call. We appreciate it. The other operators that were out there as well, and those that are sitting here on the live chat, we appreciate them as well. So, again, if you hear us, give us a call, and we'll just pick it up where we left off. We'll say 7-3 for now. Kilo Oscar 4, Oscar Golf Juliet. This is Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo. 7-3.
So yeah, I'll say 7-3 to Kilowatt Zero.
November 3, Foxtrot United Lima. Radio Alpha, please copy Radio Alpha.
Okay, thanks again, Phil. You take care. This is Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy, Kansas City. We'll be clearing